Okay, continuing with Louisiana culture. Here we're going to examine a few of the festivals in Louisiana. It's impossible to talk about all of them because there are literally 400 plus festivals just here in our one state. The festivals coincide with the seasons. Those early colonies didn't have a formal calendar, so they would begin surround festivals around either like harvest and planting seasons. So these festivals fall in certain months. Looking at August and September, we have the Frog Festival in Acadia Parish. Here in Rain, it's known as the Frog Capital of the world. One of their really cool, kind of like a monument, I guess, to being the Frog Capital of the world. I like this. I've actually been here. I've seen this one before. If you're on I-10 headed west, when you get to Rain, if you look to your left, you can see on some of the concrete siding of the interstate, they have painted some frogs on there. It's really cool looking. It is a place where they're known for eating frog legs and watching the having the frog jumping contests. Additionally to that, kind of going in reverse order here, but in St. Mary Parish is where they had the Shrimp and Petroleum Festival. Originally, it was called just the Shrimp Festival, and most people today just still call it the Shrimp Festival. But it's a festival surrounding a religious rite of bringing in a good season for bringing in shrimp. And there's carnival rides there, and I mean it's a full out good time, almost like our Jambalaya Festival, which is what Gonzales is known as, Jambalaya Festival of the World. So in Rain, we had the frogs. Out in St. Mary's Parish, we have the Shrimp and Petroleum Festival. But we're not going to look at all of them. We're just going to hit on a couple of them. The Sugarcane Festival, which some of us have probably heard of, out in New Iberia, it's in September. Read right here, the huge fair serves as a pause before the hectic time of the actual harvest. So this is before the harvest of cane grinding is what they do. They grind it down, either making sugars out of it or making like molasses. In Bayou Teche, there's a boat parade. There's a lot of entertainment and cooking and livestock shows, and competitions are held. So they incorporate a lot of things into the Sugarcane Festival. In October and November, in Shreveport, it mentions here the Red River Revel, which is basically just a really nice art show. Continuing, one that's really popular. Let's see. In Hammond, there's something called Fanfare that is in October, and it's just another art festival. They try to emphasize the fine arts, such as theater and literature. I've actually been to Fanfare a few times since that is my college, Southeastern. In addition, in October, you have something called Oktoberfest, where it is a celebration of German music and singing and foods called Oktoberfest. Usually they're largely celebrated in East Louisiana, but usually you can find one throughout the states. Continuing, Opelousas, all throughout the United States, there's different festivals. The Jambalaya, a play on the word jambalaya, but Jambalaya Festival in Opelousas is in October as well. It's kind of known for one of their contests is where kids create yaminals, which are taking yams and decorating them to look like animals. So really cool stuff. In Abbeville, out in Vermilion Parish, there is some other unusual Louisiana festivals, the Giant Omelet Festival, and we're just getting fun and creative here. I don't think they were doing omelets back in the 1500s, 1600s. We continue. There's a story associated with that, but we're going to continue. The largest, a little lagniappe here for you, a little something extra, is that the skillet used at the Giant Omelette Festival has a diameter of 15 feet. So that's really big. Out in Colfax in Grant Parish, you have the Salute to the Pecans. So Pecan Festival is out in Colfax. Okay. In December, as you would guess, there are Christmas festivals. One of the more well-known ones is in Natchitoches. It's called the Christmas Festival of Lights. Maybe some of you have gone out and seen that. If not, maybe you've seen stuff, other festivals or exhibits on a smaller scale throughout the cities. I know Hammond does a really nice one, and even areas around here do things like this on a smaller scale. You have the bonfires out in St. James Parish. Now, this is something we're probably all familiar with. In St. James Parish, unique Christmas celebration, they do the bonfires on the lower Mississippi levee on Christmas Eve. Family groups and organizations take part in the tradition of building wooden structures. They create replicas of houses and steamboats, or just erect a more basic shape, which looks like the framework of a teepee. This preparation is done about a month ahead, so the willow logs would be dry and burn easily. So we probably have all seen pictures like this right here. Continuing January and February, there's the, let's see, here we go. Natchitoches Parish, the St. Augustine Historical Society invites relatives and friends from across the United States to gather and recognize their culture at the Creole Heritage Day celebration. This is one I've always wanted to go to, yet I never found the time during February to actually go out and do this. But there's traditional skills are demonstrated through the early Creoles, such as fillet powder of gumbo from the leaves of the sassafras tree. Gumbo is a traditional Louisiana dish, a hearty Creole soup made of seafood, chicken, okra, and other vegetables. So the Creole Heritage Day celebration out in Natchitoches. Here we are in March and April. Baton Rouge and New Orleans both celebrate St. Patrick's Day. There's a St. Patrick's Day parade in Baton Rouge. I've been to it a few times. There's some in New Orleans. Honored by the wearing of green to honor the Irish heritage of Louisiana. Following Louisiana tradition, float riders throw trinkets to the waiting crowd. Another one that even if we haven't participated in, we probably have heard of the Strawberry Festival out in Ponchatoula, where they're known for their strawberries. Strawberries grow in Tangipahoa Parish, are eagerly awaited each year. Buying and eating berries is a favorite activity at the festival. New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival brings more visitors to Louisiana than any other celebration except for Mardi Gras. So there's also the New Orleans, pen's acting up a little bit, New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival. So it is number 2. So we're about to see Mardi Gras coming up. And then underneath that, you have this one right here. Mardi Gras being what is the biggest celebration in Louisiana. But even for this New Orleans Jazz Heritage Festival, there's more than 500,000 people who come to see the thousands of musicians who perform every style of music. It's a fairground filled with people, music, food, and dancing. In May, there is the Crawfish Festival, which even if you're not around Breaux Bridge, we usually do something along the lines of this just about throughout the south of Louisiana. But the official one is held in Breaux Bridge. More than 10,000 people live in St. Martin Parish. But in May, 100,000 visitors show up to eat crawfish and dance the Chanka-Chank music. Chanka-Chank is the music of the Cajun bands who sing in French. The party first started in 1959, and the state legislature has proclaimed Breaux Bridge as the crawfish capital of the world. So, a little trivia points there. Some of your family may not know that. If you wondered what the crawfish capital of the world is, it is Breaux Bridge. There's sawmill days. Let's go down to jambalaya. Here we are, something close to our hometown. Very proud to say, just south of Baton Rouge in Ascension Parish. Gonzales holds the Jambalaya Festival to determine the jambalaya champion of the state. The cooking is done outside in huge pots, and most of the contestants are men. Jambalaya, a spicy dish of rice and meat, is considered a basic dish in Cajun kitchens. An example of cultural diffusion, it was developed from a Spanish dish called pele. So, Gonzales, Ascension Parish, jambalaya capital of the world. Some pictures here from different festivals. In June and July, you have up in Ruston, way north Louisiana, you have the Peach Festival. If you are from, or if your parents have gone to LA Tech, the college up there in Ruston, then they know all about those amazing Ruston peaches. Blueberries have recently become a commercial crop in DeSoto Parish. There's the Blueberry Festival now. The Folk Life Center at Northwestern State University in Natchitoches. So there's also the Folk Life Center that was established to preserve information about Louisiana's cultural elements. In July, the university sponsors the Folk Life Festival. This is one that I've been wanting to go to as well. Haven't had a chance to go to it. Visitors and participants can easily escape the hot Louisiana summer as they enjoy this indoor event. The gathering bridges the distance between 19th century folkways and the internet. You can watch the Islenos mend a fishing net or use a computer to find information about an ancestor. As we go through, a little bit later, we'll find out more about these Islenos, but they are from the Canary Islands. They are the original Spanish inhabitants of Louisiana. And then here we go, the grand finale. We finally get to Mardi Gras. Louisiana's biggest celebration is, of course, Mardi Gras. The tradition began in Europe and was brought to Louisiana by the first French explorers. An 18th century Mardi Gras parade was described as a group of men ringing cowbells in the streets of New Orleans. Today, more than 500,000 people line the streets for the more than 50 parades held in the city. Mardi Gras is the festival time before the solemn religious season of Lent. The 40 days of Lent are part of the Christian religion, especially in the Roman Catholic Church. Lent began on Ash Wednesday, and Mardi Gras is the day before. Mardi Gras means Fat Tuesday. In Louisiana, however, the celebration of Mardi Gras begins on January 6th, also known as Twelfth Night. Parties, balls, street dances, and parades fill South Louisiana. Mardi Gras parades have long been a part of the culture of Lafayette, Morgan City, New Roads, and Thibodaux. The traditional country version of Mardi Gras takes place in Basile, Church Point, Eunice, and Mamau. This piece of the Prairie Cajun culture had almost been lost until in the 1950s, and appreciation for the importance of cultural customs developed. The traditional celebration is described as running the Mardi Gras. Masked riders on horseback go from house to house collecting food for the community feast. The riders entertain with singing and dancing as they go. Part of the tradition requires the participants to catch live chickens on the farms they visit. The chickens later become part of, guess what? The gumbo. Become part of the gumbo. A little bit something extra here. A little lagniappe. The official colors for Mardi Gras, which were chosen in 1872, are purple, green, and gold. Purple represents justice, green represents faith, and gold represents power. And lastly, we see a little bit more about Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras celebrations have even spread to the Protestant cities of North Louisiana. Because this area has few Catholics, the celebration holds little religious significance. Their neighbors in South Louisiana say the North Louisiana cities simply could not resist the fun. Okay, this is the end of video 2. From here, in video 3, we will look at the cultural regions of Louisiana.
James Dean.